welcome back to Sage and Stone Homestead. My name is Heather. We're gonna be in the greenhouse for a lot of the morning. It's actually the perfect weather to be out in the greenhouse because the sun is not out. It's actually somewhat breezy. There's been a little bit of rain. It's been glorious. I have been enjoying it so much. So before we get going though, I want to address the elephant in the room. I have a new mug. This mug is on pre-order right now, and it's going to be on pre-order through the end of the month. July 31st is when the pre-order will close, and I will place the official order with Sunset Hill Stoneware. So if you're interested in a mug or a berry bowl, go ahead and click down below. You should see an icon with this exact mug, or I'll link everything in the description box as well. This I have deemed the bucket because it's 20 ounces and it is the best. I'm almost done with it actually, which might be the reason I have so much energy to harvest carrots today. I think you'll be able to see the carrots down here. I can't even remember when I put these seeds in the ground, but I'm pretty sure we were still getting frost at the time that I did this. And really what I'd like to do is be able to get this all out and amended so that I can plant a second crop of carrots. I don't think that all of these are, you know, the largest carrots that there ever were. I think they are going to be bigger than the last carrot harvest I had out of these same beds. These beds are not quite 3 years old. Actually, I don't even think they're 2 years old at this point. So the soil inside them is still developing. The nutrition is still really getting optimized, but I think that we're going to have an okay harvest. I have harvested some little bits here and there out of the beds. This was a rainbow mix that I planted, and the rainbow mix is just made up of different varieties, and those varieties do have different rates at which they mature. It is also true that a fall carrot gets bigger than a spring and summer carrot, because what the plants are doing is growing their greens throughout the heat of the season, and then as they sense the cooling temperatures, the plants are triggered to store energy from the leaves down into the root system. And a fall carrot obviously will do that a lot better. It can sense winter coming, and all of the sugars and goodness goes down into that root, and you get a really nice root system. Aphids on that. Wow. These carrots have to be reaching all the way down to the bottom of the bed. Look at that. Wow. At least some of them are. A lot of times when you buy a rainbow mix like this, the seed company will list the varieties that are in the packet, and then when you harvest you can kind of compare those names with other pictures of those varieties to see maybe what's what in the variety pack. I'm gonna double check at what these orange carrots are and these purple ones. These ones have done the best for me. The white ones are pretty good too. They're pretty long. They're a little bit thin. This one is doing well too, and this might just be the variety that they're not super fat. Overall though, so far so good. I am happy with this harvest. This is better than I thought it was going to be. Now I'm breaking off the tops of the carrots because a lot of times when you harvest a root vegetable, the root starts to go flimsy really fast. It's like the greens suck all the moisture up towards the top, and so getting the tops off will help keep the roots crisp for longer. I'll still probably soak them, but this is what I do for now. And all of these greens are going to go to the animals. You can make like a carrot top pesto and things. I still have some of that in the freezer, but the animals will enjoy these. You can turn it into bacon. is actually a lot better of a harvest than I expected. And I will say that first bed that we harvested and the grow bag do have ants in the beds, and those were the carrots that had some aphids on them. This bed here doesn't have any ants and there's no aphids. There's definitely a correlation there. They say that the ants will actually farm the aphids. They'll literally move them from plant to plant to farm the excretion that they put out called honeydew. I guess it's very sweet, and it's kind of smart of the ants. Obviously, it's not great for the garden. So instead of treating for aphids, what I'm going to do is get that ant colony out of there before we go ahead and plant more carrots. And I'm not sure that I'm gonna plant carrots in these exact beds, but I'm putting them in here pretty soon so they can get growing. Loofah pig, loofah pig. Hey girl, are you ready for your salad? Likes it. Loofah's looking for the actual roots. No. I did get a question recently, and I've been meaning to update you guys on this. Do the little plastic dragonflies make a difference for the wasps? The answer is no. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this, and I don't necessarily want to get close, but there's a little yellow dragonfly right there, and right behind it, hanging off of this black pot, is a pretty big wasp nest that we're definitely gonna have to take care of. Wasps are pretty helpful in the garden, especially when you're dealing with grubs and things. They will literally fly onto the plant and then fly away with the grub to feed their babies. But at a certain point in the season, mainly in the fall time, they get super aggressive, and I'm not here for that. So it's about that time that they need to come out. That is a levi problem. That's not something I'm gonna do. These onions are ready to come out too, for the most part. They are all flopped over, and so they're done growing and expanding, and they're ready to cure. Look at that one. Oh my gosh, it's got a split in it. It's so big. This bed is actually pretty wet, and with all the moisture that we've been getting, I'm not surprised this bed is on the north side of our greenhouse. And the way that our land works, it's pretty flat, but we do have somewhat of a slope. And my neighbor's cow barn is not very far from our land, and it's huge, and the gutter on it is actually broken. So when it rains as much as it has, it's all dumping off the edge of that huge barn and slowly trickling down this way. And it's kind of a blessing because the water goes through the cow pasture and gets nice and nutritious and comes down this way, and when it flows through the greenhouse, the beds really do soak it up. That's not really what onions need at this point in their growth, because yeah, you can get splitting and they're not going to cure very well. But that's why this bed is pretty moist. It's the rain that we've gotten. It hasn't fallen from above, but it's soaked in from underneath. These are sweet candy onions, and I planted them from seed, and they smell amazing. These guys are not quite ready. Some of them are flopped over, but not all of them, so I'm gonna leave them. This bed is a lot deeper, and so even though it's also on the north wall, it's not soaking up as high. This soil actually really needs some help. Hello, good morning. I think it's drizzling a little bit. It might even be actually raining down there, and so hopefully we're able to harvest a few elderberries. I came out to look at the garden and noticed that some of these elderberries, actually most of them, are ready to take, and I would like to get as many as I can before the birds completely eat them. They've eaten some, and they've been eating some of the green ones, but there's going to be plenty here, I think, for me to do a little bit of elderberry wine. What I'm going to do is cut off the entire umbel, this entire thing. I'm going to stick it in the freezer, because I don't think I'm going to be juicing these today, but the freezer will hold them. Beautiful. You know, it's funny. I feel like just about every July, I'm racing a storm to harvest the berries. I don't know why this is a theme, but it is. set up the steam juicer because I might as well. With elderberry, the elder plant, hold on, let me get you some light here. There we go. Really, a lot of the plant is toxic unless it's been cooked. And this is going to steam all the parts and pieces, so I don't have to separate the berries from the stems before I cook them down because it's not gonna matter. I'm gonna do what I can to get the whole harvest in here. So the steam juicer has this like colander at the top. This second tier here is where the juice collects and we'll pour it out later. And the bottom is where I have the boiling water. See if we can do it. Over time too, whatever in the top does really like sag and sink down. You can always add more later, but we're gonna just do what we can to cram it all in now. I think we're gonna make it. There. All right, so it's been quite a while, and this is what I got out of that harvest. It's about 3 quarts of juice. I maybe could have gotten more, but I was starting to boil my steam juicer dry, and you can, you know, take it down until the juice starts to run clear. But I'm actually really happy with this amount, and I would like to set up a very simple wine. Now, full disclosure, this is my first time ever setting up a wine, and this is an incredibly basic recipe. I know that within certain niches with handmade things like sourdough, there can be a lot of back and forth about what's correct, what's incorrect, how precise you have to be. There's just a wide spectrum. So this is on the very like beginning basic end. There's nothing really fancy that I'm going to be doing here. I saw the recipe originally from, I forget the channel name, but his name is Papa, at least that's what his grandkids call him. Really simple, and so we're just gonna slap it together, and I'll have to let you know in 30 days how it turned out. So I have this jar here, which everything is super, super clean. The basic recipe is for every quart of juice, you have 1 cup of sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon yeast, and you let it set for 30 days. I do know that we do need some headspace in the vessel, and some of this juice is still quite warm, which I think will be helpful for melting the sugar. It's not too warm. Look at how beautiful that is. It's a little bit warmer than room temperature. This jar is a little bit warmer. This is the one that came out of the juicer more recently. So I'll have to temp this before I add the yeast. And because I didn't have 3 quarts, I am gonna put in this pint jar of elderberry juice that I juiced last year. Whoa. Make a mess or it doesn't count. Now 3 cups of sugar. I bought a winemaking kit online, and it happened to come with this yeast nutrient that wasn't in the recipe that Pawpaw does, but I'm gonna put it in anyway because I have it. It says yeast nutrient is a mixture of diammonium phosphate and food grade urea. Gives nourishment to your yeast so that it stays healthy throughout the fermentation process. Add 1 teaspoon per gallon. It reminds me of calcium chloride, the look of it. It's not. Yeah, this is reading at 96, which is within range for this to bloom well, so that's good. I need 1/4 teaspoon per quart, and the kit that I bought came with a few little yeast packets, so I'm going to use this one, Premier Classique. Papa used bread yeast, which I thought was interesting. And what he does is put the cap on and shake it until everything is dissolved. He said this is the hardest part. I will make sure to link Pawpaw's video in the description below. He has a few of them, but he's got one that's a lot more comprehensive that answers a lot of questions, and I think that that's a good one to watch. Very intriguing. Now, what Pawpaw does is now set this to the side for 30 days. He said you don't want to have the cap on tight because you want to allow some of gases to escape, but you want it to not, obviously not allow things like fruit flies in. So he sets the cap on just enough to where it jiggles a little bit, like it wiggles a little up and down. I may use the airlock. The thing is, I'm not sure if I trust myself enough to pay attention to the airlock for the full 30 days. This is liable to work better for me, so I think I'm just gonna do this instead of putting the airlock on. And if bugs do happen to infiltrate, I'll learn something and I'll use the airlock next time. But that's that. I'm just gonna set this in my bedroom. Obviously, I'll fill you in on how this goes. Hello and good Monday to you. Check out the fall seedlings and how good they are looking. These are the Brussels sprouts. Got cabbage and then cauliflower back there, and then kales and different types of broccoli down here. We're getting close to these things going in the greenhouse. They need to go in at the end of this month. I am a little bit nervous it's going to be super hot in August or something, but so far the forecast in July looks pretty okay, like mid to high 80s. But with the shade cloth and the fans in the greenhouse, it could be pretty all right for them in there. But I put the carrots in the freeze dryer. That whole harvest went in here, and you know what? I was really concerned that I had actually overloaded the freeze dryer, but it is done, so we're good. I'm actually gonna, oh, the trays are pretty warm, so maybe I don't even have to worry about that. When the freeze dryer finishes, it does take the temperature way down, but I seem to have caught it in time. It must have just finished. I did have it on a little bit of extra dry time, so it says that it took 70 hours. It didn't. I had about 18 extra dry hours on this, just so that I could try to catch it before it went into a deep freeze. It's not a big deal if it does, it's just you have to wait for it to heat back up. And the reason that you have to wait for it to heat back up before you pull things out is if all the carrots come out super cold into this like warm, humid environment of the shed, condensation is gonna settle pretty much immediately, and we don't want that. So the trays are at 86 right now, so I'm just going to open it up and pack it up. One tray of freeze-dried carrots. The hope is to have all of these carrots consumed by the time I'm pulling the next harvest of carrots out of the greenhouse. And I hope to get the harvest of carrots out of the greenhouse by about Christmas time. So I want these carrots to last us about 6 months. Those are actually really good. Not as like, I don't know, you could probably heard that. I expected about as much crunch as you get from like a freeze-dried banana. Those guys are real tough. These guys are not too bad. See. Those are good. I wondered, because the two things that we really do with carrots is put them in soups and eat them fresh. And I wondered if this would be good like this. It really is. So I'm actually gonna put all of the carrots from today's harvest in bottles like this, because we're planning on eating them within 6 months. They don't have to go in a Mylar bag or anything. And I think it's pretty on the shelf. I am actually making a like rabbit and rice curry style soup tonight, and we're gonna throw some carrots in to see how they rehydrate too, because I have never freeze-dried carrots. I've actually never had enough of a harvest of carrots to preserve them more than just doing a little bit of fermenting. Ooh. Got more of these inside. I do want to put a desiccant pack in each just to catch any excess humidity out of the air, out of the carrots. I'll worry about that when we get these inside. 1 down, 4 to go. Oh shoot, don't drop them. Here's the harvest. Doesn't it look so pretty like that? Oh, I just love it. I do have, I think it's 5 pints of canned carrots inside the house. And so these probably won't actually last us, you know, the full 5 or 6 months before we have more carrots coming out of the garden. But I'm so proud of this. It's been a little bit of a struggle trying to optimize the soil in the greenhouse, and this helps me know that things are going in the right direction out there. And so we have actually been eating a lot more of our own homegrown food than usual, and we usually eat a whole lot, but for a couple of years I didn't grow potatoes, I didn't grow carrots, and I didn't grow onions because those are things that I could get easily at our local store. They don't sell very many fresh things, but those things I can pretty much guarantee get anytime I want them. But this year we happen to be growing all three, and so we're eating a lot more of what we grow here simply because we're growing the things that we actually eat, and those were some of the things that we were buying, and I probably will be buying some more of it, but I'll be buying less. This is a lot of ice in here. This is I probably did max out the freeze dryer. They do have like a weight maximum that you can put in here, and I don't think it's necessarily for a load bearing situation, but it's more for what can actually like fit against the wall as far as the ice. Whoa, hear it cracking. There is a defrost setting for the freeze dryer. I'm gonna leave that off. I'm just gonna leave the door open, and it's going to be draining down into this milk pail, all the water. We will bring one of these inside with us. First, I would like to go out to the greenhouse and collect a little bit of thyme, because that's always good in a good soup. Hey, my dudes. Kind of muddy over here, huh? Yeah, they've got a lot of nice grassy area over there, but over here it's a little bit muddy for all the rain that we've been getting. Which one of y'all was out this morning? It wasn't a duck, but I had a turkey out this morning. I came to let Nugget out and had to chase down a turkey. Their fence had kind of sagged in one spot. All the rain had really like made the ground kind of soupy. And sometimes these fences don't do very well against heavy winds when the ground is really wet, because it just blows them over. I got even more sweet potatoes put out here, so now there are 13 bags of sweet potatoes, and I don't even know if you're going to be able to tell from last week, but we've already gotten significantly more greens on the ones that we put in last week, so they are very happy. Look at this guy. This one was not this long when we put it in, and it's doing the thing. So score one for goat poop. For a little while there was actually a decent puddle in the middle of the greenhouse here, but it looks like it is drying up. This never-ending shallots, they just won't stop. I have picked off I don't know how many flower blooms, and they just keep going. So I've given up on trying to pluck the flowers off. Clearly they want a flower. I don't know. Look at them. I swear the same shallots that I have plucked flowers off of, they must have put out a secondary flower stalk. I've already collected seeds, so I don't know, maybe I'll just pull these soon. I don't actually know if there's any wasp nests over here. A lot of the times the wasps really do like in between the cups of the green stalk. I hate it, actually. So if my green stalks look neglected, it's because they are. There's actually, come here, man. Oh, come here. There's a praying mantis down here. Come here, man. Hi, sweetheart. You're more than welcome to stay. I think I'll get a little more time. Y'all are a hoot. I keep looking in their shelter waiting for some eggs because the ducks really should start laying soon. I know, do you want to eat my camera again? Oh man, did you hear that? Oh, that was a big crack noise. Still blinking. No, I still haven't fixed the camera setting that's making my LED lights blink. It's a frame rate problem, and I've never had this problem before, and I haven't changed any settings on my camera. So something is different. I don't know what, but I haven't fixed it yet. So we're gonna leave that off. But I cooked some rice, actually quite a lot of rice, inside some bone broth. My family likes their soups more stew-like, so this is probably gonna be good. I may need to add a little bit of liquid. I literally haven't seasoned anything at all. My daughter went ahead and deboned one canned rabbit for me. Whoops, sorry. So that is our protein. I'm gonna throw the carrots in now so they have time to really soak up some of the hot water. It's not boiling anymore, but that should be fine. I don't really want the steam to rise up and get into my jar either. So I'm gonna transfer the carrots into a bowl first and then pour them over. They're all gonna float at first. The thyme leaves here. Remington already wants some. Girl, give me a second. What I'm doing is just grasping the top of the thyme sprig here, just running my fingers down to get the leaves off. And they're gonna go in. There's nothing like fresh thyme. I have dried thyme before, and like a lot of herbs, at least to me, they lose a lot of their flavor when they are dried. One thing this soup looks like it's lacking to me is a little bit of greenery. I could grab some of that Malabar spinach that is in the greenhouse. However, that would require me going back out and taking the time to chop. And dinner is already a little bit late today, so I need some Homestead fast food. All right, and at this point, there's no seasonings in here yet. We absolutely have to add them. my poor pot here is full to the brim. The carrots, yep, they are absorbing quite nicely. Anything that you freeze dry, when you rehydrate, is going to behave like a previously frozen product. So these carrots are going to act like I had just pulled them out of the freezer and put them in the soup once they rehydrate. First of all, farm dust, as always. Basically like a salt, pepper with a little bit of extra spice added to it. Granulated garlic. I have not made my own garlic powder yet, but I think I'm going to this year. Natural curly powder from the store. This adds the best warmth to a soup every time. And chicken divan, or rabbit divan. So good. I need to make that again too. This smells so good. I need to taste it though and make sure that we have all the right flavors going on. That's good. The carrots aren't quite rehydrated yet, so I'm going to leave this for just a little bit. Stir it a little bit more too. Make sure all of the seasonings are good and incorporated, because that was a lot of all the seasonings. I don't want anyone to get like a random pocket of salt or something. It's definitely good. Might be a little salty. That's probably my fault. See if my poor soup pot can handle a little bit of milk. Help thin out that salt a little. Got a little heavy-handed with it. It's almost like the carrots have air in them. I wonder if they would benefit from boiling a little bit, but I don't think I have any room left in my pot to boil. So I'll just put the cover on for now, and we'll let them soak in moisture for a little bit longer. We have an interesting project today. The other day, Levi and I saw an injured possum on our porch. It was right before a big storm was rolling in, and so we just kind of left it. And really our first thought was to put it down because it has a really massive injury on the back of its neck. And so we thought it just crawled away and died in the storm. Well, we found it and it's still alive. It's been some days. And again, my first instinct was to put it down and put it out of its misery. However, one of my local friends, she said, no, it's probably able to be rehabbed. Here's some information for a local rehabber. So we've got to crate the thing and then we're gonna be bringing it to a rehabber later. The rehabber said, if I hold it by its tail, it can't bite me. We've got the boy goats here for moral support. Carol's gonna watch us. It's over here under a milk crate. Oh, hi, sweet thing. I gotta catch it by its tail. I'm a little concerned. The rehabber makes it sound like it's not a big deal to pick it up. That goes against everything that I feel like I know. All right. All right. So what I've done is the possum is in the crate, but its tail is outside the crate. This is the situation. So I think I can pick up the tail and then get it in the dog crate. Oh my gosh.
How is it still alive?
I don't know. Okie dokie, here we go. Oh no! Okay, sorry, baby. There we go. Okay. Oh, we got it. Oh, it's cute.
I think he's a male.
You think it's a male? I didn't see any babies, did you?
No, I think it's a male.
That wound is smelly, so I'm a little bit concerned, but the rehabbers will know what to do. Wow, it's skinny too. Does have a will to live though. So thank you, Jen, for the information. It has monkey feet.
Yeah, it has a thumb. Jetty, there's a possum.
Hi, Tori. Hey, Tori girl. Good evening. The possum is with the rehabber, and you know, she told me to pick the possum up by the tail. She said if you do that, it can't bite you. But then when we got there, she just cradled it like a kitten, and it had this large gaping mouth, and she didn't bother her one bit. She says it's a boy, and that she thinks he has a good prognosis. That wound on the back of his neck, I was gonna put it down because I thought that that was probably the best thing for it, but I guess the possums are very sturdy and they're very hardy, and she thinks he's gonna make a full recovery, so that's very good. I'm just in the barn while the cheese melts on dinner, schmoozing on my girls. Yes, Shindy, thank you for your contribution. Oh, leave poor Helicity alone. She needs lovin's too. There's enough of me to go around, I promise. Really? Nice burr. Room and burps are the worst. They have to be one of my least favorite things in this entire world, and Shindy's so good at it. But Helicity would never. No, she's an angel. She would never ever. Hey, sweet Gail. I know I'm holding the camera. Is that a little strange? Is that a little strange? She does so much better when I'm not holding the camera. I know. I think I'm seeing a little udder coming in on her. I mean, it is quite a while before she's due, but she's a lot of babies in there. Oh my goodness. And she is already starting to pooch out a little bit. Excuse me, can I help you? Can I help you? Good gracious Tatanka. Always needing to be in the center of everything. Yes, you're a good girl. Yes, you are. Oh. How you doing, Marge? Coming up real soon. We can check for pregnancy on her. And I really need to be thinking about what our breeding plan is going to be for fall time. I believe it's 7 does that I have the ability to breed this fall for spring kids. I will probably breed all of them. I just need to decide who's going to be bred to whom. I have 4 bucks at my disposal. We have Feral, we have Ruckus, we have Warden, and Bear. I may or may not use Ruckus for springtime. I'm kind of trying to prove out Ruckus to make sure he doesn't have any babies with parrot mouth with the 2 girls that he covered for fall babies. Gail and Helicity, this one here and that one there. They have at least 3 kids in each of them. And so this should be a really great sampling to see if Ruckus is going to throw any more babies with the parrot mouth. If you're not sure what that is, it's a physiological defect where the bottom jaw is a little bit too small and it doesn't hit the dental plate correctly. This can just be a fluke thing that happens. I saw it in his kids that came out of him in red this past spring. One of the babies had parrot mouth, and if I see it again with a different dam line, Gail and Helicity are in no way related to red here, then that means that Ruckus is probably a problem and he will have to go in the freezer. I know that that's a hard conversation, but we don't have to have it now. It's just something that I've got in the back of my mind because it's a distinct possibility. Dang, I keep ending these videos with some downers as far as the goats go, huh? I promise, it's all herd building, it's all good ultimately. Because we do have them for the milk and we do have them for the meat, but when we're making our breeding decisions, I like to be intentional. I like to be making improvements so that we are continuing to breed healthy, sturdy, and hardy animals. So yeah, sometimes those tough considerations are a thing, and I like to be as open as I can with you guys. So fingers crossed for Ruckus's fall babies. You are too much right now. You are. Oh, and I think I decided I am not going to breed the babies. Not this fall. So we've got Tonka, Fable, and then these two, Goosey and Stella. They will probably be big enough. I like them to be at minimum 80 pounds, but that's if I'm planning on putting a Nigerian over them. I don't have any more Nigerian bucks anymore. I could use a couple of the bucks at my friend Megan's house, but I think 7 kidding in spring and the 3 kidding in fall, 10 goats kidding is probably sufficient. I probably don't need more than that. And so these girls can wait until they're a little bit bigger so that when I put them with my mini La Mancha bucks, I mean, there is a possibility of kids over 8 pounds. I want them to be of more mature body structure before I ask them to potentially do that. Look at this girl. Stunning. You are stunning. I'm excited to breed you. Oh, I love her. Anywho, I'm gonna go check on dinner. I'll see you guys next week.